This is big for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be talking about another outstanding performance from Lonzo Ball, along with some other players that really showed out in tonight's preseason finale for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be talking about what this means for the Bulls as they get ready for their season opener. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so, look, there has been a lot of news around the Chicago Bulls, and it has been very dramatic. And to add to that dramatic news, well, the Chicago Bulls go into overtime to take care of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They win tonight 139 to 137 in their final preseason game. So let's jump into some of the takeaways from tonight's game. And I think that immediately we have to start with, Lonzo Ball. I think that Lonzo Ball was once again outstanding tonight, talking about just coming back from an injury that nobody has come back from. Look, he looked fabulous. He definitely had the energy on the defensive end, the offensive end. He was there. You could tell the basketball IQ was on high display on both ends. Tonight, 11 points, 3 rebounds today, 3 assists. He also had a block. So he played 16 minutes, which I think is a minute more than what he played in his last game. But he excelled. He actually got a little bit better today. And he also was a plus in the box score again, with a +2. So Lonzo Ball does his thing again. And like I was saying before earlier, I think that he is really going to be a player that is going to excel wherever he's at. And so I think that if he's with the Chicago Bulls for this season, I think that he is going to help this team, especially the youngsters come along, and he is going to be that person out there that is going to be a quarterback for this team, much like he was before he went down with the injuries, because it doesn't look like he missed a beat. And I really do believe that if Lonzo Ball continues to play this well and the Chicago Bulls extend his minutes into, say, 20 minutes a game, I really do believe that there are going to be teams that are going to want to call and ask if Lonzo Ball is available, especially on an expiring contract. I would have to think teams that are looking to win right now are going to take that chance on Lonzo Ball. So this is a fabulous story. He does well tonight. Spectacular. And so as we move forward, I think another player we have got to highlight, and that is Zach LaVine. Talking about the drama, there was a lot of drama surrounding Zach LaVine going into this season. There's a lot of noise about, is he going to be traded, the contract, the injuries, the friction in the front office, and then you get a professional Zach LaVine that has been absolutely locked in. And he said that he was going to be locked in. He said he was going to buy into whatever role is needed. And I had said after the first game, I was hoping that it was just rust that he was shaking off. And it absolutely was, because he's been spectacular since he's been out there. 18 points tonight, 6 rebounds today, 3 assists. He also had a steal, but more importantly, he had a +3. And just to say this right now, before we go into the entire box score, all the starters that played had a plus in the box score except for Patrick Williams. And so, look, LaVine looks smooth. He's playing very aggressively on the defensive end, playing passing lanes and things like that. Like, LaVine looks very good. He is showing us exactly what he can do, and that is get buckets. And I think that this high pace absolutely fits what Zach LaVine does best. And essentially, now that he does not have to really operate in these half-court games and just pretty much can go with the flow of the game, I think you can expect Zach LaVine to continue to pick up steam. And I love the fact that he is being able to play off other starters and players that, we knew that are going to ascend this year, like Coby White and Ayo, and he is still being able to play off them, be effective, and really help the game. And so I love that. And so next up, as we continue and look into, just some of the standouts today, I think we have to look at Jalen Smith. I think that Jalen Smith, again, I was wondering about him going into this game. Is he going to be ready for the increased role and then also to the minutes? And I think this preseason, minus the knee surgery, or not knee surgery, but the knee soreness he's had, he has played very well. I think that he has done absolutely well. He's shown that he can run with these guards in transition. He had a very good one tonight with the 14 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. He also had 1 steal as well. And so I loved his energy. I loved his activity. I know he missed some 3-point shots, but I like that he has that ability to stretch the floor. And I think that you are seeing a player that absolutely suggests that if you do give him some more minutes, he absolutely could be a starter, okay? Because that was one of the question marks about Jalen Smith, and I know it's preseason, but I am starting to see why, this could be a steal in free agency. So Jalen Smith looked very good, and I think that he is going to fit in with just about any rotation, which is a good thing, I think, for Billy Donovan as he tries to figure this thing out. Next up, Coby White and Ayo. I think that they played tremendous tonight. I talked about these two players really throughout the offseason, and so far here, I think that these two players are definitely building block pieces for the Chicago Bulls, and I'm saying you do not trade these players, and when it comes down to negotiations, you make sure that you take care of Coby White and Ayo Dosummu, because both of these players have excelled in multiple roles, doing it again. And the one thing that I love about Ayo once more and Coby White, they both came through some adverse situations this preseason, being injured and then stepping back into the starting lineup and being effective, because Coby White, he has his 14 today, 8 assists. He also went out there and he had 6 rebounds. He was +9. Ayo, 19 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, +13, which was the best of all starters. And so I love the chemistry that these two have. And I think that if somebody gets injured and you have to start Ayo and Coby White, you absolutely are going to be just fine. Will the Chicago Bulls moving forward? These two players are players that you absolutely build off of. I love the fact that they have been able to make it happen with the way that the lineups have been shuffling and things like that. This is a great sign for the Chicago Bulls as they get ready to start the season. So next up, as we continue and we look, we have to give definitely THT, give him his flowers. He is playing just phenomenal, because pretty much he didn't play the whole game. And then once it came down to, I don't know, the fourth quarter, whatever the case may be, THT came in and was a huge impact for the Chicago Bulls. He is the main reason why they were able to go ahead and get this win in overtime. And I absolutely think that, look, THT, if he's in the locker room right now, he has to be signing the deal for that last roster spot, because he has absolutely earned it. I mean, I love the fact that he has gone in and he has just been an absolute bucket. Defensively, he is out there making things happen. And I love the composure, the experience that you get with THT. I think that he's been phenomenal. He definitely earned this, and I hope that he gets a chance really to get run during the season, because I think that he can help the Chicago Bulls team as they continue to build out their roster and try to find out what pieces are going to go, with the finished product as we try to get to a contender type of status at some point. But, I love the fact that he fits in with the fast pace and he's willing to shoot the threes and everything else. So this was good for THT tonight. All right. And so as we continue on, I think lastly, we have to look at Patrick Williams. And so, look, Patrick Williams came out. He was super aggressive early on. He was having a great game, guys, but P. Will goes down, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He was -3 in the box score, 20 minutes. But the really the storyline for Patrick Williams is he goes down with an ankle injury. It appears that it is a road ankle. From what I'm hearing on CHGO's podcast, they're saying that if it were, a regular season game, they think that Patrick Williams would have been able to go. Uncertain, how much is going to happen with the ankle from here, going into the season. So I don't know if, his start of the season is going to be in jeopardy. But whatever the case, it has been a challenging preseason for Patrick Williams. I think that he definitely had some rust coming into this thing. I don't think he necessarily played a lot of fives. And then, once he did start to kind of get his rhythm after sitting out, he had the jam wrist and then now the ankle. So just a tough start for Patrick Williams. So hopefully he can get back and get started here, because he was showing some signs here the last couple games. He was showing some signs here tonight. But then again, he just goes down with the rolled ankle. And so as we go now to the box score and take a look at this thing, we kind of already highlighted some of the numbers. One of the things I didn't talk about is Modest coming off the bench, 7 and 3 for him. He was +9 out there. Sanogo, he grabbed some big boards in overtime. That's really when they played him late in the fourth and going into overtime, and you got a chance to see his impact. I wanted to see a little bit more of him, but I absolutely think that he has shown that he needs to get some minutes. And then when we look at the team breakdown here and we look at the final stats for the Chicago Bulls, some of the key takeaways here is that the Chicago Bulls shot 33% from downtown, just beating the Cavs. We were 68.4% from the free throw line. That is not very good. You have got to take care of these free throws when you get there. And then, as far as the turnover battle, Chicago 19-15 there. That's not good, but that's part of playing fast. You are going to turn the basketball over. But one of the bright spots on this box score is that the Chicago Bulls out-rebounded the Cavs. And the Cavs are a bigger team, 59-51. That is huge, and I think that was one of the reasons why the Chicago Bulls won this game, because they got in there and they got in the paint and they got physical enough and out-rebounded this team, and also 2 points in the paint. We won that 58-52, and so this is huge for a team that doesn't necessarily have post players. We're going to do it in a different way, and that means that we're attacking on fast breaks. Hopefully we're getting backdoor cuts and these easy dunks. That pretty much is going to supplement having a player that you can dump it down to and just turn around and he can go up, so we don't have that professional scorer down there. And so shout out to Vooch, who did pull a double-double today. He also had 6 assists as well, Mr. Double-Double. But Vooch looked pretty good, and he looked like he was flowing in this offense. He felt like he could come in this faster-paced offense and be effective. I think he was today. And one of the, magical stats that we'll leave you with before we sign off is that, courtesy of CHGO Podcast coming in, it looks like the Chicago Bulls shot 53 pointers. I guess last season they averaged 33 pointers. And so right now, coming out of preseason, the Chicago Bulls, I believe, had the quickest pace of play right now. And then also, too, they are getting up 3-point shots. And so we get a chance to see what this offense looks like. Can we get enough stops when the season starts? And so that is the question here. So let me know, what are your key takeaways from tonight's preseason game? Do you agree that THT absolutely should be going ahead and inking a deal with the Chicago Bulls right now? And then, what do you think about P. Will in this injury situation? So before we jump out, I just want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, and sharing the content. It means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to reach 5,000 subscribers before the NBA season starts. I want to let you know about 64.2% of you that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you continue to slam dunk on that subscribe button. And hey, we have come to the finish line of preseason, and now it is time for the regular season. So let's see if these Chicago Bulls can continue to play this fast and maybe steal some games out there. Not a good sign for this pick that we're trying to hold on to, but, for the people out there that truly believe the Chicago Bulls could make a little noise, they might be right. Until the next one, I'll see you. Go Bulls. Peace.